brand new day. This is Morning Pulse, the pulse of Nigerian politics, and I'm your host for the show, Sharon Chuku. Joining me live in the studio, I have with me my co-host in person of Ifoma Oji and our guest, Mr. Daniel Sacramento, joining me in the studio. Good morning. How are you all doing?
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you all doing?
We're doing well.
All right. Also joining us via Zoom, we have our analyst, Mr. Oladimiji Oluwafemi. Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Good morning, guys. I'm doing well.
All right. Now we're going straight to the stories that we have for today. And we begin with the deepening crisis in the PDP. After the National Convention held in Ibadan, where Nyesom Wike and several of his loyalists agreed to expel Wike and some people, we're seeing that the Wike bloc is now preparing fresh state congresses and a new convention with its own loyalists. This move sets the stage for two opposing party structures and raises major questions about the future of the PDP ahead of 2027. Now, in neighboring Benin Republic, a dramatic attempted coup unfolded after a group of military officers took over state television and announced the dissolution of the government. Authorities say the attempt has been foiled, but the incident has raised concerns about political stability in the region and the growing trend of military interventions across West Africa. And finally, a moment of relief back home here in Nigeria, in Niger State. The federal government says 100 abducted school children have been released after weeks in captivity. It's a development that has sparked both celebration and renewed concerns about the safety of schools and the effectiveness of ongoing security operations. My, where do I start? I don't know if I should start from Benin Republic, but I think I'm leaning towards Wike, right? Let's take a look at what's happening with Wike. So, Mr. Ladimiji, just weeks ago, we saw that Wike was expelled alongside 10 others from the PDP. Now, after that, we were looking forward to seeing what would become of the PDP and especially Wike. But now that you have seen this, what's your take, sir?
Thank you very much, Sharon. Thank you for that question. Good morning to Nigerians. Sharon, I think it is a complete waste of luxurious time, of time. And time is luxury to indulge in the discussion of the Wikis and the PDP members.
Oh, really? No.
Remember, we have established on this platform oftentimes that the PDP has been grasping for life, and each time they make attempt at it, they go deeper into the abyss.
This was not what we said last week. A lot of us thought that they were going to renew their power.
Wike is playing his script to make sure that the party is not, settled. And those within the party are, playing the power game. The party do not belong to you. The party is for the people. So it's a power tussle between one who wants to throw the club into the wheels of the PDP, or who wants to make them remain on life support for his own personal gain. For the PDP now, the members that are left in it, in any case, are trying to, save the party for their own ambition's sake. In any case, both of them don't want.
All right. So you don't even think it's worthy of discussion, but a lot of Nigerians would disagree, seeing as PDP is the major political party that we have now, and the fact that with the convention, quite a number of people thought that that was going to be the turning point for the PDP.
The major political party that we have.
Of course. But let's also let me get your perspective, Ifoma. What do you make of this new development?
I think the dispute isn't just about who occupies the top seat. It's now about who has the rights to decide the future of PDP, or who has the power to decide the future of PDP. And like I've said earlier countless times, that Wike is more like a political tool for the present administration. Wike is not in PDP. The only thing that he's doing in PDP is to destabilize PDP. He's a tool, you understand. Mr. Sacramento will call him principalities and powers. So he has never meant well for PDP. I was watching one of his speeches online, and that should be yesterday, earlier this morning, where he was saying that all these people that are trying to eject him from the party, that they cannot, that he was in the party before them, so that they can't come to his home, yes, and remove him from his home, that it can never happen. And I'm like, are you not supposed to be thinking about how to unite PDP? Are you not supposed to be thinking about how you all are going to work and stand as one against the present administration, against 2027 as a strong opposition party? But what we are seeing is different. The opposition party, we think that have been strong for a long while now, or for years now, is now fragile. That, I mean, anybody can use it as any tool as they wish to.
And Mr. Dan Sacramento, what do you make of this new development as well?
It's not a new development. It's something that has been happening in the PDP. Like if I'm rightfully say, Wike said he has been there in the PDP, and he will not allow newcomers to come and do that. The truth about it is that this country is full of drama and people who has no conscience, people who has nothing to offer. Rather, just they want to remain at the corridor of power, remain, let people make their name well known and create problems here and there. And that's why the likes of Wike, has a written script. Make sure nobody rises up from PDP till election. And he's playing his script very well. The G5 that he formed ab initio those days, all of them are in the ambassadorial list.
That's a good point.
So all of them are now there. Fayose is also there with him. He was part of the people that was expelled. You see, they woke up late to handle this matter. And that is why, they woke up late. That is why Wike, you see, they are also planning their state congress and the convention. So it's a very terrible thing. And you will see how the judiciary will handle the matter, because that's where everybody is waiting. Yes. Remember that today is 8th of December. Everybody that is holding any political position needs to, their tenure will expire today. So you see, all Wike is all doing, the truth about it is that he does not want anybody to rise up from there, that they will give the tickets that will contest against his subject, the man that has given him, that made him minister. So that is exactly what he's doing. There is no other thing. So it's quite obvious. Okay. I remember that they will not also allow other political parties to rise. That's why they are putting problem in Labour Party. They are putting problems in. They want to put problem in ADC, so that it now becomes a one-party system. That's all their plan. Because I don't see a man who is in APC working for the APC government and he still says he is a member of PDP. It's not done anywhere. This is the only place you will see it happen.
What now do you think are going to be the legal implications if they have another national convention, if they have their congress and all of that, even after the national convention that was held in Ibadan just in November, Mr. Ladimiji?
It would have been easy for us to discuss the legal implication if it were not Nigeria. You discuss political situation, you discuss legal situation in a working system. But in this case now, you can even have a clear case, and you get a court, and your motor source of today, decides against your case. That is what we have. So I would have said, Sheyimakide's faction would have the upper hand since the INEC recognizes their Congress. But this is Wike, who is currently building lodges for judiciary. I don't know how the Makides and the balance, what's his name? Will really go I mean, in this case, if what will come to us, they will carry out another coup against the Constitution and tell you to define and explain what if and how means.
Against the Constitution. Now, if let's also take your view with the conflicting news that we're hearing. One faction already held their convention, expelled some people, including Wike. Now, Wike also wants to go ahead and hold his own national convention.
Okay, I think it's quite simple. The court is going to nullify one, which I don't know the one that the court will, nullify at the end of the day, but I guess we are here for the cinema.
We are here to see. Now, let's also take a look at defections, right? The fact that there's been so many defections in the PDP as of late, a lot of people, and just recently we saw about 16 senators in Rivers State defecting.
House members
defecting to the APC. But, we thought that with the expulsion, Mr. Daniel, that we are going to see, after some people were expelled from the PDP, we thought we were going to see defections. Since they have been expelled, they have no other reasons. But I don't know, if Wike has refused to be expelled, what do you think other people as well, like Ayanwa, the rest who were expelled, would do at this point?
The truth about it is that Ayanwa, Wike, Fayose, Batule, and so many of them are all in one faction. And they were the ones that was expelled. Definitely, there is nothing they do apart from what you're seeing them doing now. Trying to organize a state congress and a convention and now present it as an evidence, to the court. And like Mr. Olagnoji rightfully said, the level of judiciary system we have is quite unfortunate where we found ourselves. We have elderly people who have lost their conscience, who can't do things right, who don't even want the country to be right. In fact, the thing is that they don't want the country to be right.
That's all.
No, because if the country becomes right, then they're out of business. That is the truth about it. So all this madness and these jamborees, you are seeing them perpetrating everywhere, the likes of Wike making noise everywhere. He doesn't know that one day, someday, it will end. And he will never remain in power. He can never remain in power.
Right.
If Buhari has left and Tinubu has come, Jonathan left, Buhari came, he should know that one day he will leave. And he will no longer be in the corridors of power. And now things will turn around. Maybe he will be probed. Maybe he will, people will not go after him. So these are things they don't know. So, of the truth, this whole shambles and chaos you are all saying is because somebody is fueling this thing from somewhere that does not want PDP to rise. And their fear is two things. They are afraid if PDP comes together, they might be looking at giving P2B the ticket. This one thing Wike does not want.
Oh, okay.
Yes. This one thing he doesn't want.
P2B in PDP.
Yes, PDP. He doesn't want it. And that's why they hurriedly destroyed Labour, now trying to destroy PDP as well. So that these two, there will be nowhere P2B could, stand to do anything.
Yeah. All right.
If ADC does not even take time, they will still infiltrate it and destroy it as well. And that's how it is.
That will be the end of the opposition. For me personally, I'm looking forward to their primaries, right? If we're having this back and forth already, I wonder what the primaries would look like. The other day, we saw them fighting in Abuja. We saw distinguished senators fighting, throwing punches here and there. So for the primaries, I think that's my next target. I want to see what will happen. But talking about battles and all of that, we're moving to Benin Republic, where over the weekend we saw that there was an attempted coup. So it was as though for a minute or two they were successful, but the next minute we're seeing that it was unsuccessful. So let me get your take, Mr. Oladimidi. All of these coups that has been going on in the region, very close to Nigeria, do you see that repeating in Nigeria in any way, apart from the initial coup that already happened?
Well, I have an open mindset, and I know that life is dynamic, and I understand also that if we continue on this path, something is got to give. Having said that, I cannot tell as to when and how the Nigerian military will respond after they have been overwhelmed with all of this madness. And I don't know what shape or form their response would be. I have said it on this case before. But as it were around us in the south, I mean in the west, of the continent, we have seen all of the neighboring countries around us come and into military regime, and there is one striking importance that we need to take note of. It is the fact that in all of these countries that a coup has been carried out, military coup has been carried out, the people of this country had overwhelmingly supported this regime's change. Go to the Niger, it was overwhelming support for the military coup guys. And up to today, they still enjoy this support. But the case in Benin Republic is different. Benin do not, the coup plotters do not enjoy this kind of support.
Mr. Ladmeji. All right, I'm coming to you, Reformer. We lost him there, but as soon as he returns, he would finish up his point. But let's get your take as well.
All right. I think over the years or recently, we've had these coup attempts. We've had the coup attempt in Burkina Faso. We've had in Guinea-Bissau. We've had in Guinea, and some other countries, West African countries. But this one in Benin Republic was quite a shocker for me, because I believe the last time I heard about coup there was in the 1990s. So to hear that there was a coup attempt there was quite alarming for me. But just like they say, when the house is shaking, even the way things, it can blow the house down. So I started wondering, why is it that these people have been having, or people want to attempt ousting the current president? And I saw that it was as a result of a lot of instability, a lot of economic and social complaints. People are complaining that healthcare, people in the healthcare sector are not properly taken care of. People cannot even access healthcare. People are complaining of increased taxes and the rest of them. And then the soldiers here are complaining of a lot of heroes, their fellow colleagues or soldiers that have died in battle. A lot of them that have died and no plans for them. They were just ignored just like that. So it just goes back to the adage that I just mentioned of earlier. Like, you can't have people, you can't have political instability in a country, and you won't want people or citizens of that country not to react in a certain way. It's because of the fact that the present government has refused to keep its country, its activities locked down. That is why there's growing anxieties in the minds of people, and even the military personnel that has resulted to this particular coup. But I've heard that they've been, the coup have been thwarted, and I believe that maybe something like this shouldn't happen. But generally, let me just make a statement. I think Africa in general is not ready for democracy. Africa in general is not ready for sovereignty. If you say you are a sovereign state or a sovereign nation, we shouldn't be having this whole coup attempt or this instability here and there. There are other countries, francophone countries that westernized or rather colonized Nigerians are still standing strong. We're not hearing about this coup attempt. So we need to stand as one and know that Africa, cannot be divided at this point.
All right. Now, because of time, we're still talking Benin Republic and the attempted coup. Now, let's get your take, Mr. Daniel Sacramento.
All right. This is one of the things that happened in Black Man's region. And somebody is somewhere fueling all these things you're seeing. It's quite unfortunate where we found ourselves every now and then, leaders in Africa who have stayed 32, 42 years. I wonder if that seat is your father's birthright. Instead of you to currently leave and allow other people, take turn.
think it's their birthright.
Yes, they always think it's their birthright. Amadongo is still there up to date, even when he is down. Paul Biya of Cameroon is still there, even when he is old, 92 years old now. So it's quite a shameful thing when we see all these things happening in Africa. And now you could see the level of people who try to take power from the sitting president and the prime minister, but it failed. And you know what it entails? It's going to be execution.
Execution.
Yeah, they're going to be executed all through. Now,
you mentioned, that we had an attempted coup. Did we have an execution for?
Things like this will not be made public. That's the truth. Yes.
Okay.
Now, the truth about it is this: the coup in Benin Republic was not called for because the president is stepping down in April 10th. He's having an election next year. Okay. So he's stepping down. So there was no need for the necessary coup. But those that some overzealous military personnel think they should do that. And some investigative reports are getting that the hands of the French country is involved in it. Oh, wow. I don't know whether it's true. Okay. I don't know whether it's false. But the truth about it is that Africa is the problem of themselves, because one, we don't like ourselves, we don't tell ourselves the truth. We keep doing things that even our colonial masters don't do them, even in their places. That's why you see we are still called underdeveloped country, because we travel abroad. We don't bring back those things we are saying there. Yes. Instead, when we come back, we start modifying it in a very selfish, greedy way to suit us. And that is why you see Africa still remains where they are. Somebody gave an analysis. When you go to where they play snooker game, why is that a white ball is the one that plots every other ball, including the black? You understand? It's something that is called for a sober reflection. Which is true. It is because the way we act. And that is why things like this still keeps going on.
Wow.
The older generation does not want to leave power. I just told you that about Wike and co. Why the new one wants to take by force without reaching a compromise. And that is where we are. So we found out that this didn't happen, and we had our Nigerian team too went there. We sent private jets. If someone was asking me this month, so we have private jets to bombard.
I don't even like that I call them our. They are not our, they terrorists. Now, Mr. Lagweji, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can.
All right, just finally on the Benin Republic attempted coup, let's get your take. We lost you a minute before.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me back again. I was saying that the coup process in Benin Republic did not enjoy first the public support that other Sahel nations enjoyed when they carried, other coup plotters enjoyed in the Sahel nations when they did carry out their own coup. But far from that, what is important here is to look at the nuances. The nuances are very obvious, and we can, plot them. Number one, comrade, you do not need to be skeptical. You do not need to be doubtful about why the president of Nigeria was so quick and swift and brazen in sending fighter jets after the fleeing coup plotters to bomb them. The report is that the bomb that took place was, the bombing that took place in the Republic was carried out by Nigerian Air Force fighter jets in a precision operation. It was a precise operation. So they went, bombed, and they returned to base last night. Nigerian fighter jets returned to base last night after that precision bombing.
Wow.
And they sent the coup plotters on their back foot, and they've been playing since then. Some of them have been apprehended, I think 14 of them. But far from that, the finger of Emmanuel Macron of France is very conspicuous in this because Benin Republic, I think, remains the only hold that the Francophone that the Francophone colonial master hold on to without agitation of any sort currently. And now it's about to be taken away. On Nigeria, that is the only neighbor that we have that is closer to us. So
we can't have coup.
Then the likes of Tinubu and Co cannot go to bed anymore with both eyes closed. Should they let it happen? So they have the backing of Macron, the backing of ECOWAS. ECOWAS, of course, is one organization of people I don't want to describe here.
Thank you.
Tinubu had their backing, and they went. But one gray area, guys, as I return the conversation back to the studio, the gray area is this: Tinubu did not seek the parliament go ahead before he took this action. Trump, as we speak, is still seeking congressional validation to take action against the terrorists in Nigeria. Yesterday, Tinubu did none of those. Rule of law is no more in existence in Nigeria.
No, he called Ababio as usual. As usual, when he wanted to take over, declare state of emergency, where you normally call.
All right. So it's as if we know the inner couples. You don't need to go through all the long process where you just have some connects here and there, and you start to see that is coming from the president of Nigeria. I get that now. Now, talking about the mandate, right? Even from the Senate House, we've been seeing that they've been trying to raise motions to make the Terrorism Act, to make these people sentenced to life imprisonment or death by hanging, making it a criminal case now. But over in Niger, we are seeing, in Niger State, we are seeing that 100 abducted students have been released. Now, I still have some questions because we remember that it was over 300 students that were abducted. So, what can you make of out of that number, 100 being released, Ifoma?
Okay, I'll first of all say I was quite, to an extent, relieved when I saw that at least about 100 of them have been released, and I think about 40 was released, was it last week or 50? Yes, escaped. So for me, I think that's quite, is a good news. Then moving forward, I say a lot of people are asking questions, same as me. How were these people saved? Was it non-kinetic or kinetic approach that was used to rescue them is still kind of distorted? And I believe that the military or the people, the security agencies that rescued these children are keeping that kind of secret from the public's consumption because of one reason or the other. But at the same time, I'm happy that these people have been returned to their family, but at the same time, there are still others that are still in captivity. What mechanisms are they going to employ to ensure that these people still return back to their families? And I say it every single time that it is right time for us to stop this whole non-kinetic approach of trying to negotiate with these terrorists. We don't need to negotiate with them. Just like what happened in Benin Republic. You see how swift it was for the president to call on the private jets and for them to go and bomb. Here you don't even need to bomb. You just need to tear gas, find the location, send drones, tear gas the place, fish out the children that are there, fish out the perpetrators of this act, and bring them to good justice. It's just simple. What are you with my way? What is all these things about?
All right. Now let's also get your perspective, Mr. Daniel. 150 possibly still in captivity of these abductors.
The truth about it is this: the numbers of the children that was abducted has not really been cleared because you remember what Bayo was saying, that the school
has not
cooperated. They didn't come out to tell us. The school is saying 300. And they've not really known how many of them, their names and everything, to ascertain if really 300 of them were abducted. So it's quite what's it called? It's quite confusing. And now 100 have been released. So we still need Bayo Nanuga to come on board and explain. If 100 is the only person, the only remaining, the total of them remaining there, or there are still many of them that are still being held in captivity there. So because it doesn't really add up or make sense. The school is saying different thing, federal government is saying a different thing. So they need to come to a terms. Submit the names. Let's see the names of the pupils that were abducted or the students that were taken, so that now the Nigerians will be able to know. So okay, fine, we are giving kudos to the military, but to say we have to appreciate our security forces. You know, they have been doing well, in as much as we know they are being politicized. Because whenever things like this happen, 30 minutes they stepped out, there was an abduction.
And we've still not gotten answers.
Yes, and we've not gotten answers. It means somebody is somewhere remoting all these things that you see that is happening.
All right.
So we will still give them kudos. They are family members. They have mother, they have brothers and sisters. Some of them have lost their lives in all these things. We'll still give them kudos, but more is expected. Thank God for the lives of Christopher Musa, who is going to suffer. He's going to suffer more because you know that he stepped on toes when he was in CDS, and they thought they've won. But thank God he is back. And let's see how he's going there. At least we will give him kudos as the new defense minister under his work. This has just happened under his work. So let's take it off from there. We need a lot of things to change. Our security system, it's not as if we don't have the best military. But the problem is that they have been politicized. And that's where we are today. So the school should come on board, tell us the actual, publish the names. You said 300. Let's have the names.
I heard 312.
Yes, then let's have the names.
Right.
So we'll have 150 now that has been rescued. Okay, 50 escaped.
Yes.
100 has been rescued. So let's have the names so that Nigerians will now start talking and now know the right people to hold accountable.
You know, I'm going to ask, from what you said, there's a theory that I've been hearing online, and I'm going to ask Mr. Ladimiji. So there has been the rumor that the Nigerian government has been paying ransom, right, for these people that they have released. So if, let's take for instance, we had over 250 in the bush, right? And they came and they released 100, but there are still some that are still left in captivity. How is it that if they were able to ambush or to attack the territory of these bandits, they didn't just rescue everybody? If we still have a remainder, does it mean that they only secured the ransom for 100 people and then left the rest for continuous attempts to do the remaining amount of money?
Sharon, this sounds overwhelming. When you were asking this question, I was just shaking my head. I was shaking my head because they've taken Nigerians for a ride. They've taken the intelligence of 230 million people for a ride. And it is ridiculous. First of all, let me drop this. It is important that we are cautious of the operating words that we employ, that we deploy when we are dealing with these conversations. They are not releasing. They are negotiating in batches.
In batches.
They are negotiating the release of these children in batches. If the attempt, if the whole and all-out attempt is to cover the perimeter, make sure that none of these terrorists escape, save the hostages. Some of us have watched movies that mirrors societal situations.
Exactly.
American movies, you watch them with the will to do. They go to rescue civilians, and they're always cautious of even collateral damages. But they make sure that there is maximum damage to the terror count. But in our case, we sit down with terror and we negotiate the number of children we want out per time.
Wow.
Children.
Yeah.
And then we say, okay, we can give you 100 for now. And you say, okay, bring the 100.
Let's manage.
Lives of children.
Lives of people.
Just imagine. Children. And you're negotiating them in batches. I follow things and I follow sequence. The last time they told us that, don't worry, parents, your children are okay.
How did they
So
know?
it means that we are negotiating the next number, the next batch. They are okay, we are just negotiating the next batch that will be released. I sympathize to the parents.
Yes.
And I'm happy with the parents of the 100 that were just released. But hey, Nigerian government is a dangerous government. They are playing with the children. Children.
It is very
They are
sad to
negotiating
see,
their rights.
honestly. It is.
Some people don't understand until they are victims. Maybe their children will go one day and they will understand.
Thank you, Mr.
Maybe
Oladimeji.
they will understand.
Mr. Oladimeji, thank you very much. I think because of the number of times we have to hear of these issues, insecurity, it is very likely that people can become or feel like it's normal, but there's nothing normal about hundreds and hundreds of kids being abducted on a daily basis, and the fact that their lives are being negotiated on a table.
All right. The insult is telling us that 50 escaped. Do you know what 50 is? 50 escaped.
I get that, sir. The numbers are still not adding up. The numbers are still not adding up. And even as much as we are giving kudos to the military, we still need them to provide answers, especially, and to do more and do better by the citizens of Nigeria. But because of time, I would have loved to continue this conversation. We're going to call it a wrap right here on the show. Thank you to everyone for joining, to my host, co-host, Ifoma Oji, Mr. Daniel Sacramento, and to you, Mr. Oladimeji, for joining us on the conversation today. And of course to our viewers for watching, liking and commenting. Exactly. If this is your first time, this is Morning Pulse, the pulse of Nigerian politics. I encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us at Active Citizens across all social media platforms. You can find me as well on my personal social media handles at Sharon Chuku. And you, Reformer.
You can find me on Facebook at Oji Sophia and on Instagram at Miselect.
Mr. Oladimeji.
My account is at Pivot Oladimeji will do political consciousness education on X.
All right, and Mr. Daniel Sacramento will always be in the studio. Till we see you later today, do have a good morning.